Okay, we're back outside, got a cigarette, taking a few deep breaths after finishing that last video. Yes, I'm actually upset by that, but we're gonna move on. We're doing our best and worst competitors. Now, our worst competitors, there are two that are gimmicks. These are guys who are meant to lose. Number three is James Ellsworth. I originally had Hardcore Holly because it was Hardcore's own fault when Brock broke his neck. According to rumors that I've heard. According to Brock, he was trying to do the move. Hardcore was staying stiff and tense and wouldn't let Brock do it. Brock put more force into it than he normally would have. But yeah, I went with James Ellsworth. He's a guy who's designed to lose. He's the new generation's Gilbert, who's my number two. Gilbert is a guy who, as soon as you see him step out on the ramp, you're already laughing because you know something hilarious is about to happen when this little man gets in the ring and tries to compete, even if it's against a woman. My number one is an actual guy who just should not be in a wrestling ring. I mentioned him earlier. You guys are going to get to hear more of the details now. I'm talking about Alberto Del Rio. I watched a match where whoever Del Rio was fighting, I don't even remember who he was fighting at this point, but whoever he was fighting got distracted by somebody up on the Titantron, and Del Rio runs across the ring, and he does that little step-up enziguri on the second turnbuckle. He missed completely. The person he was fighting was smart enough to pretend nothing happened. They kept looking up at the Titantron to give him a second shot. He goes again. His foot slips as he's going to step up. He falls on the ground. The person still keeps looking up at the Titantron, and Del Rio goes, okay, forget it. I'm not going to get the running start. It keeps messing me up. It's throwing me off. He stands, and just from a standing point, he does this step up enziguri, and it's still just a glancing blow. Fail. Epic fucking fail. And that's not the only time. He falls. He tries stuff that is outside of his limits. And the results are just so bad. There's no arguing with me. Del Rio is the worst in-ring competitor I've ever watched. So let's on a move over to the good side on a good note. Three guys who there isn't anybody from the new era on here, and that was because part of my factors, one of my factors in deciding was a history of competing at the top level. Number three is Randy Orton. Every time he goes out there, Randy is just impressive. He's damn near flawless in the ring. And his moves are sharp and quick. And there's a phrase that JBL likes to use, no wasted movement. Orton knows what he's doing. And I don't just mean that he has the training and the experience. I mean, he's thinking the entire time, what comes next and how am I going to do it? And you can see that. And it's just beautiful to watch. Number two, Triple H. Guy's got a long history of dominance. And the storyline plays into it. He was associated with the McMahons. So a lot of his matches were designed for Triple H to win. He played a heel for a long time, so he got a lot of wins through outside interference, things like that. But he's still a great performer in the ring. Another guy just like Randy Orton, always thinking about what he's going to do next. My number one in-ring competitor, Undertaker. Told you guys he's going to be here a lot. Decades of dominance. It's really all I have to say. Competing at that level, the streak is just more that I can add to why The Undertaker deserves the number one spot. But really, just the length of his career at that level. So, yeah, that's my best and worst competitors. This video's a little bit shorter. I'm glad for that. I could have gone on a long rant about Del Rio. I'm not going to. We'll finish this video up and we'll get on to the best and worst feuds. Although I think I'm going to have to change the order of my worst. The question is, what order do I want to do them in? So I'll get that figured out and then we'll get that video out to you too. Alright. Bye, guys.